Good morning, dear children. In the last session, I had already started discussing about the transportation system in human. And I already mentioned main five components also. Hope you know what are they. They are blood vessels, heart, lymph and lymph vessels. And I already discussed about blood. Today you are going to study in detail the other main important component of transportation system, that is the heart. Heart is a muscular organ which is composed of cardiac muscles. Last year you studied about cardiac muscles, right? Then what's the function of this cardiac muscle and what it is in? Cardiac muscle is involuntary muscle. That means it is not under our control and it is in the heart only. And our heart is a pumping organ which pumps the blood throughout the body. So heart is a muscular organ which is composed of cardiac muscles. It's a pumping organ which pumps the blood throughout the body. Now we can see the shape and location of heart. Heart is a triangular shaped structure. It is located in thoracic cavity inside rib cage between lungs, above diaphragm and tilted towards left. This is the shape and location of our heart. Heart is a triangular shaped structure that you will see in the next slide. It is located in thoracic cavity. You know where is the thoracic cavity? When we discussed about respiratory system, I already mentioned about thoracic cavity and abdominal cavity. In the thoracic cavity, we can see the lungs. In between the lungs, we can see the heart. So the location is that it is located in thoracic cavity inside rib cage between lungs above diaphragm and tilted towards left. Tilted means what? The heart has got 4 chambers and with the 4 chambers, the 3 chambers are slightly tilted towards the left side. So that's it. Now see the shape and location of heart. See the picture, you can see very clearly the middle bone, it is the sternum and this is the diaphragm. See, this is the rib, this is the line and here you can see the heart. See, these two are the lungs. In between the lungs you can see the heart and outer covering of the heart, it is the pericardium. See, this is the 2 lungs are there. In between the lungs we can see the heart. So it is protected by what? The ribs are there. Below it is, we can see the diaphragm. Now we can see the anatomy of heart. The human heart is composed of 4 chambers. They are the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. In the picture you can see very clearly right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and the left ventricle. These are the main 4 chambers of the heart. And we can see the valves. See, here one mitral valve is there, here pulmonary valve is there, here tricuspid valve is there, isn't it? So these valves, the main function and these valves allow one-way flow of blood. Our heart doesn't tolerate the bidirectional movement of the blood. It only allows, or it always allows the blood to flow in only one direction. So it is a main function of the valve to prevent the backflow of the blood. And the heart, it is surrounded by a thin membrane. In the picture you can see it is very clearly, this is the pericardium. It protects the heart and maintains the shape of the heart. See the pericardium? It is the outermost covering of the heart and the main function of the pericardium is that it protects the heart and maintains the shape of the heart. See the shape, beautiful shape of the heart, and it is protected by the pericardium, and you can see the 4 chambers: right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. Another structure is there in between. The picture, it is not clear, it is not marked. It is the septum. You know what is septum? It separates the right and the left side of the heart. So these are the main important structures associated with the heart. They are the 4 chambers. Then pericardium is there. Then valves are there. Then the septum is there. Now we can discuss about the terms related to blood circulation through the heart. Oxygenated blood. You are familiar with that term, isn't it? Blood in which oxygen is mixed is called oxygenated blood. What is oxygenated blood? Blood in which oxygen is mixed is called oxygenated blood. And what is meant by deoxygenated blood? Blood in which carbon dioxide is mixed. Such blood is called what? Deoxygenated blood. So two types of bloods are there, oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood means what? The blood containing oxygen, and deoxygenated blood means what? The blood containing carbon dioxide. Now the terms related to blood circulation through the heart. Already you have seen the main chambers, left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium and right ventricle. And we can just see the main function of the left atrium. It collects blood from lungs and passes to, I will explain with the help of the diagram later. Left atrium, it collects blood from lungs. You know what's the function of the lungs. Inside the lungs we can see alveoli, and the gaseous exchange takes place in the alveoli. That means our body is in need of oxygen. That oxygen is carried to the left atrium. And when the left atrium is full, what will happen? The blood passes into left ventricle. So when the left atrium is full, the blood passes to left ventricle. It pumps blood so that it can reach to all body parts. When the left ventricle is full, the blood it passes to all other part of the body. And from the all part of the body, you know that after oxygenation or after respiration, carbon dioxide blood is collected. They collect blood from body organs and passes to right ventricle. Blood from different part of the, which blood? Impure blood from different part of the body is collected and passes to right atrium. When right atrium becomes full, what will happen? It will passes into right ventricle, and right ventricle, it consists of what? Impure or deoxygenated blood, and this blood is pumped into lungs for oxygenation. Since the ventricles pump blood to the different organs, its walls are thicker than the atria. See the right ventricle and the left ventricle. See, this is the opening, right ventricle and the left ventricle. The walls, the two, here we could see the walls of these two are very thick. You know, the blood is moving in very high force or very heavy force. So the here two walls are there, and this wall, not only walls, the walls of the left and right ventricle are very thick while comparing with the what? Comparing with the atrium, right atrium and the left atrium. The right and the left chambers, as I already told, it is separated by what? Septum. And now we can discuss what is the function of the septum. See this diagram, we can see blue, it is denoted, the right side is denoted with a blue color, and here it is slightly red in color. From this you can guess which side is having the pure blood. Can you guess? Yes. The left side of the heart is having pure blood and the right side of the heart is having impure blood. Unlike usually we say that no, right side is always having something good. But it is in the case of heart, it is not like that. Difference is that left side of the heart is having pure blood and the right side of the heart, it is having what? Impure blood. In both the cases, the right ventricle on the left ventricle, their walls are very thick because from this the blood is passing to the structures here in very heavy speed. So it is what? It is the walls are very thick and they are separated. These two sides are separated by what? Septum. The main function of the septum to prevent the mixing up of these two blood. This is deoxygenated blood and this is oxygenated blood. So the septum, it separates the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. If septum is not there, what will happen? You know, these two blood gets mixes and it can result in the malfunctioning of the heart. The atria and ventricles have walls between them to prevent blood flowing backward. We can see the different walls are there. Mitral wall, aortic wall, pulmonary wall and tricuspid wall. 4 walls are there. And the main function of this wall is to prevent the backflow of the blood. Now we can just discuss the working of the heart, or otherwise we can call circulation of blood. You know the left atrium. When the left atrium relaxes, that means what? It is ready to receive the blood. From where the blood is coming? The blood is coming from the lungs. What's the function of the lungs? Alveoli present in the lungs that help in gaseous exchange. So after the exchange of the gases, the pure blood, that is the oxygen rich blood, is carried to the left atrium. When the left atrium becomes full, what will happen? You know, it contracts and the blood rushes into left ventricle. When left atrium becomes full, valve is there known as mitral valve. Otherwise, we can call it as what? Bicuspid valve. Another term is the mitral valve or bicuspid valve. So this left atrium becomes full, this valve opens and the blood enters into left ventricle. When the left ventricle becomes full, you know what happened? Here another valve is there known as what? Aortic valve. Through this valve, aortic valve, this tube is known as the aorta. Aorta is nothing, it is the largest artery. Different types of blood vessels are there. They are the arteries, veins and capillaries. Arteries carries the pure blood, veins carries the impure blood. This is the main difference between these two. Arteries carries the pure blood and veins carry the impure blood. So here, all the simple arteries or small arteries cannot enter into the heart. Instead of that, a big artery is there. It is known as what? Aorta. You can just compare it with our water tank. You know that from the water tank, a big pipe is there. Through that pipe only the water is collected, and the pipe gets splits into smaller pipes, and these smaller pipes are connected to the places where we need water or where we need pipe connection. Isn't it? Same manner also, here also what happened? From the heart, a big tube carries the pure blood, that is the aorta. This aorta, it carries the pure blood, and what will happen? It is carried to different parts of the body. And how it is carried different parts of the body? Aorta gets split into what? Another tubes known as what? Arteries. When arteries, it is comparatively thicker. It cannot reach each and every cell. So what will happen again? These arteries, they again split into what? Smaller tubes known as capillaries. And these capillaries are one cell thick. You know about the cell, they are microscopic structures. So our arteries cannot enter into the cell. So these arteries, they split into what? Capillaries. They are the smallest blood vessels, and the capillaries carries the oxygenated blood into the cells. So after circulated through all part of the body, the deoxygenated blood, we know that inside the cell after respiration, which blood is there? Carbon dioxide rich blood. Through diffusion, it reaches to the bloodstream, and to capillaries, they carry the impure blood. The capillaries, they carry the impure blood, and it is carried to the veins. As I told you, veins carry impure blood. And through the veins, what will happen? The blood enters into the which side of the heart? Right side of the heart. You could see it is through the two big veins. It is known as superior vena cava. Another one, it is the inferior vena cava. Two tubes are there. Superior vena cava collects the blood from the uppermost part of our body, and inferior vena cava collects blood from the lowermost part of the body. And these are the veins, largest veins. This vena cava, it is known as the largest vein. So two vena cavas are there. Superior vena cava, another one is the inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava collect the blood from the topmost part of the body or uppermost part of the body, and the inferior vena cava collects blood from the lowermost part of the body. See here, and from these two areas the blood enters into right atrium. When the right atrium becomes full, what happens? You know, the atrium contracts, and valve is there. It is known as the tricuspid valve. See, one valve is there. It is known as the tricuspid valve. The valve opens and the blood rushes into where? Right ventricle. So here it is color. This blue color indicates the deoxygenated blood. When right atrium contracts, when it becomes full, it contracts and the blood rushes into right ventricle. And see what happened to the blood. Then the right ventricle contracts and the blood is pumped to the lungs. See, The blood is carried to the lungs through a tube known as pulmonary artery. Very, very important artery. As I told you, all the arteries carry pure blood except this artery. Which artery is that? It is the pulmonary artery. When you hear the term pulmonary, you should understand that it is related to the lungs. So the pulmonary artery carries the impure blood to the lungs for oxygenation. So after oxygenation, what happens? The pure blood is carried back to the heart through pulmonary vein. As I told you earlier, all the veins carry impure blood or deoxygenated blood except only one vein. That vein is the pulmonary vein. And this pulmonary vein, it carries the oxygenated blood back to the left side of the heart. See, left atrium. When it becomes full, what happens? The mitral valve or the bicuspid valve opens and blood rushes into left ventricle. When left ventricle becomes full, aortic valve is there. It opens and through the aorta, the blood is carried to different parts of the body. How it is carried? Aorta splits into arteries. Arteries split into capillaries. And again, what happens? When it reaches the cells, after respiration, deoxygenated blood is collected back by the capillaries and it enters into the veins, and veins ends in what? Vena cava. Through two vena cavas are there, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. These two vena cavas, the blood enters into the right atrium. When it becomes full, tricuspid valve open, enters right ventricle and passes through the pulmonary artery towards the lungs. Again, this whole process repeats. So in the lungs, carbon dioxide is removed and oxygen is absorbed, and the oxygenated blood again enters the left atrium and the process repeats. Thus, in the human body, blood passes through the heart twice. You have seen it already. In one circulation, what happened? In a single circulation, the blood passes through the heart twice. This type of circulation is called double circulation. One mark question for the examination. What is meant by double circulation? In the human body, blood passes through the heart twice. This type of circulation is called double circulation. And what's the benefit or what's the need of double circulation in human beings? Another important question, double circulation ensures complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, which is necessary for optimum energy production in warm-blooded animals. You know what's meant by warm-blooded animals? Yes. Warm-blooded animals are organisms that the body temperature does not changes with the external temperature. We human beings are the mammals and apes. They come under which group? Warm-blooded animals. So in the case of warm-blooded animals, our energy need is more. So we have 4-chambered heart. But when we think about reptiles, amphibians and all, they have 3-chambered heart only. But the fish or the pisces, they have 2-chambered heart. That is it. Pisces, they have 2-chambered heart. Amphibians and reptiles, they have 3-chambered heart. Exception is their crocodile. Crocodile is having 4-chambered heart. That we already discussed in the last year. Then the apes as well as mammals, we are having what? 4-chambered heart, and we have the septum to separate these two, pure blood as well as impure blood. And thus in the human body, blood passes through the heart twice. This type of circulation is called double circulation. It ensures complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, because as I told you, our energy demand is more. So to satisfy our energy need, we are in need of which circulation? Double circulation. So blood circulation through the heart, it can be divided into two. You already know it, but you should explain it under two headings: pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Already told you, when you see the term pulmonary, you should understand that it is related to lungs. So deoxygenated blood moves from heart. See here, two colored, red color as well as what? Blue color. Blue color denotes what? Carbon dioxide rich blood, and red color denote what? Pure blood, that is the oxygenated blood. So the deoxygenated blood moves to the lungs. See, it moves to the both sides, both lungs are there. So this deoxygenated blood, it moves towards the lungs. And what will happen there after oxygenation? See what is happening. The pure blood is carried to the heart. The pure blood is carried to the heart. This is the way you should explain pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. You can see both sides, carbon dioxide blood is there, these two cells. So this is carried to the cells. After respiration, this carbon dioxide blood is released to the blood capillaries. It is carried by the veins back into the heart. From there, from the heart, what is happening? The heart is carried to the lungs for oxygenation. After oxygenation, again what will happen? It is passed through the aorta. It is carried to all part of the body. See, this is the left ventricle, this is the right ventricle, this is the left auricle, and this is the right auricle. This is the representation of pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. So these are the tissue cells, and the exchange is very clearly explained here. Carbon dioxide and oxygen exchange takes place here. So here, the both inferior vena cava is there from the lower part. This is the upper part, superior vena cava. From both sides, the blood is carried to the right atrium. When the right atrium becomes full, the blood reaches to right ventricle. When the right ventricle becomes full, what will happen? Through the pulmonary artery, it is carried to the lungs. Inside the lungs, exchange of gases takes place. So pure blood is carried to the left atrium. When it becomes full, it is carried to the left ventricle. And what will happen? Through the aorta, see, we can see the aorta. Through the aorta, the blood is carried to the different parts, split into what? Arteries, and reaches the cells, and again the process repeats. So pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary means what? Deoxygenated blood moves from heart to lungs and converts it into oxygenated blood, and then this oxygenated blood moves back to heart. Systemic circulation, in another cycle of blood circulation, oxygenated blood moves from heart to other organs and converts into deoxygenated blood, and then this deoxygenated blood moves back to heart. We can move to cardiac cycle. Then what is cardiac cycle? It's a periodic relaxation and contraction of muscles of heart. Periodically, heart muscles, cardiac muscles contract and relax. That is known as what? Cardiac cycle. Now, what's the heartbeat? When the heart is busy with pumping blood, the different chambers of the heart open and close. You have seen it. Atrium and the ventricle, both are contracting and relaxing. Each time the chambers contract or relax, a thumping sound is produced. This is what is known as the heartbeat. When we keep our palm on the chest, we could understand the heartbeat, isn't it? Yes. But when we are that at rest only, we need to do that. Otherwise, no, if you are doing any exercise, or if you are feeling any tension and all, without touching, we could feel our heartbeat, isn't it? Yes. So what is heartbeat? One mark question. When the heart is busy with pumping blood, the different chambers of the heart open and close, or contract and relax. Each time the chambers contract or relax, a thumping sound is produced. This both the atrium and ventricles, they both contract and relax. Each time, no, we could hear that thumping sound is produced. That is known as what? Heartbeat. The heart beats about 70 to 72 times per minute in a normal adult. That means when we are at rest, the heart beats about 70 to 72 times per minute. Now we can move on to the blood pressure. What is blood pressure? The force that blood exerts against the wall of a vessel is called, which vessel? Blood vessel is called blood pressure. This pressure is much greater in arteries than in veins, because through the arteries only blood is moving in very heavy force. So the pressure is much greater in arteries. So the pressure of blood inside the artery during ventricular systole, when the ventricles, when they contract, what will happen? The heavy pressure only blood is passing. That pressure is known as the systolic pressure. When the ventricle contracts, systole means what? Contraction. The blood will passes through the blood vessel artery in a very high pressure, and that pressure is known as what? Systolic pressure. And that is the pressure in artery during ventricular diastole. What is diastole? Relaxation. After releasing, as it is ready to receive the blood from the atrium, that time there is no much pressure. Such pressure is called what? Diastolic pressure during the rest period, as the ventricles refill with blood. After releasing the blood, ventricles want to take rest for some time. That time now what is happening? The ventricles are receiving the blood from the atrium. That time the pressure is very less. That pressure is the diastolic pressure. Systolic means what? High pressure. That time the ventricles, they contract. Heavy force only blood is passing. And that is systolic. Another one is what? When they relax. It's very normal pressure only the blood passes through the arteries. The normal systolic pressure is about 120 mm of Hg and diastolic pressure is 80 mm of Hg. This is the normal rate of an average adult. Healthy person, this should be the normal rate. 120 is the systolic pressure and 80 is the diastolic pressure. Now we can see the instrument used to measure. Hope you all have seen this instrument, that's the sphygmomanometer. What's the name of the instrument? Sphygmomanometer. The instrument used to measure blood pressure is called sphygmomanometer. 1 mark question. High blood pressure is also called what? If the pressure increases, as I told you, 120/80 is the normal rate. If it increases more, maybe sometime 140, 150, etc., then we can call that as what? High BP, or otherwise it is called hypertension, and is caused by the constriction of arterioles. These arteries, smallest arteries, know what will happen? They start to constrict, and which result in increased resistance. Even the blood is trying to pass it very fast, but that constriction is there, the blood cannot pass through it very comfortably. It can lead to the rupture of an artery. What is rupture? Breaking of the or bursting of an artery and internal bleeding. So if the what's the after effect of high blood pressure? The arteries can lead to a rupture of an artery and can result in what? Internal bleeding. So you can understand the instrument, that is the sphygmomanometer. High blood pressure is called hypertension. When hypertension or high blood pressure is there, it can lead to the rupture or break of the bursting of an artery and result in what? Internal bleeding. Now you can observe the video of how the human heart works. Just watch it.
Your heart is a pump. It's a muscular organ about the size of your fist and is located slightly left of center in your chest. Your heart is divided into the right and left side. The division protects oxygen-rich blood from mixing with oxygen-poor blood. Together, your heart and blood vessels comprise your cardiovascular system, which circulates blood and oxygen around your body. In fact, your heart pumps about 5 quarts of blood every minute, and it beats about 100,000 times in one day. That's about 35 million times in a year. Oxygen-poor blood, blue blood, returns to the heart after circulating through your body. The right side of the heart, composed of the right atrium and ventricle, collects and pumps the blood to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. The lungs refresh the blood with a new supply of oxygen, making it turn red. Oxygen-rich blood, red blood, then enters the left side of the heart, composed of the left atrium and ventricle, and is pumped through the aorta to the body to supply tissues with oxygen. 4 valves within your heart keep your blood moving the right way. The tricuspid, mitral, pulmonary, and aortic valves work like gates on a fence. They open only one way and only when pushed on. Each valve opens and closes once per heartbeat, or about once every second. A beating heart contracts and relaxes. Contraction is called systole, and relaxing is called diastole. During systole, your ventricles contract, forcing blood into the vessels going to your lungs and body, much like ketchup being forced out of a squeeze bottle. The right ventricle contracts a little bit before the left ventricle does. Your ventricles then relax during diastole and are filled with blood coming from the upper chambers, the left and right atria. Then the cycle starts over again. Your heart is nourished by blood too. Blood vessels called coronary arteries extend over the surface of your heart and branch into smaller capillaries. Here you can see just the network of blood vessels that feed your heart with oxygen-rich blood. Your heart also has electrical wiring, which keeps it beating. Electrical impulses begin high in the right atrium and travel through specialized pathways to the ventricles, delivering the signal to pump. The conduction system keeps your heart beating in a coordinated and normal rhythm, which in turn keeps blood circulating. The continuous exchange of oxygen-rich blood with oxygen-poor blood is what keeps you alive.
I hope the structure is clear and the function also. Try to learn the diagram of heart. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, utilize the maximum time you are having. Learn to draw the diagram of the heart. As I told you in the previous session, I hope you have learned to draw the diagram of respiratory system. Similarly, please learn to draw the diagram of heart and learn to label the parts. Thank you. Have a nice day.